Jakks Pacific has done the impossible. They have made the most game-accurate Bendy plushies ever. And yes, it did take me a long time to review these pals. Sorry for the long wait. But here I am, finally going to review the Jakks Pacific Wave 1 Bendy plushies. And like the title says, these are definitely the most game-accurate plushies we have ever gotten. Now, I'm definitely going to go into review and explain why, but if you're wondering where I can get these, you could get it from Walmart, maybe eBay from a reseller, but you could kind of find them all over the place now. They're just jumping from different store to store, and they usually have different prices depending on, of course, where you're getting it from. Like eBay's can be expensive because resellers, but if you're going to get it from Walmart, it's just going to be around, I don't know, 12, 15 bucks. They're not that expensive. The plushies are cheaper than the action figures, which I do have, but I'm missing the Ink Demon, so I can't really do a full review on it yet, and that's why we're going to be reviewing the plushies here today. So let's just start off with the very first one in the collection, being our boy Bendy. As you guys can see, this is literally him in all of his glory. First of all, before I actually go into the actual plush and why I think it's so game accurate, let's go and actually talk about the tags. First of all, I got a big old butt tag here that says Bendy, and when you open it up or move it around, it shows all the other stuff, all the copyright, all that boring stuff we don't really need to talk about right now. But the tag is also really interesting, since when you just flip it around, it just shows the Bendy's face from the Dark Revival. This is one thing that's sad about it, because if the tag had like Heavenly Toys on it, I would have been like this is definitely amazing. That would have been like a nice little nod to the actual game. Also, they have a Jakks Pacific tag here that does have a little barcode in the back, so you can't really steal it. It's like a little chip. If you can see it, you can see the indent in there. They have it in there just so, you know, people don't steal it. But the tag here is just Bendy's face. When you do turn it around, it does say Heavenly Toy in the corner, but it's only the corner. If this was how the tag looked, it would have made it a lot more game accurate, but it's fine. I'm sorry, I'm the game accurate nerd over here. And the back has so much info about the plush, quality, all the different words. This is so much. Also, it's just a scanning thing. But yeah, every single one of the plushies have the exact same tag, so we don't really need to even go look at it. But also, every plushie says Bendy. It doesn't say like Boris or Alice, which is pretty sad. It would have been cool if they did that, but you know, it's the Bendy brand, so of course you're gonna have that. But now going into the plushies, these are definitely the most simplest plushies you can ever ask for, but that's not the reason why they're so great. They're great is because they're game accurate. That's why I said that word so many times today. When I first saw these plushies, I was a little bit mixed on them, because as you guys can see, they all use printing. And in plushies, I don't really like printing, because on camera or when you look at stock photos, it doesn't look that good. He has a little dirt in his eye. But when you look at it in person, it looks a lot better. But of course, like I said, this is camera, so it's not going to look that good. All this is not embroidery, and it's printing. And if you want to think about it, embroidery wouldn't have really captured the style they're going with now. So I am glad they went with printing, even though darker colors don't really shine in ink. As you guys can see up here, the black isn't really shining in with the rest of the plush, which is still pretty fine, I think. But why I also say it's game accurate, I'll be showing some gameplay on the side if I even have gameplay of Heavenly Toys, like close up on the plushies, which I don't think I have. But also, one thing to mention about this too is even the bow ties. As you see, the white color is just blending in because they decided to print on the yellow color and black color on the bow tie. Sorry, I wasn't focusing this whole time, but as you guys can see, that's the reason why I don't like printing on plushies, and I definitely could agree. Everyone of a plush collector out there could definitely agree that printing isn't that good. But going back to the gameplay here, Joey Drew Studios likes to keep their way out of everything. So we know the plushies don't have embroidery on them, and it literally looks like they just printed on the plushies too. So literally getting these plushies with printing on it, looking all withered, being literally the exact same textures as the games, is incredible, and is just really good to see on a plush. Not a lot of game companies or even anything except shaking camera really do that. Like even the hands don't look that bad. Of course, you can see the nice hand drawn little details, the sketching. It looks really good actually. And yes, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of printing, but it's not bad. It's not even like bad printing. They actually did some like really good high quality printing on these. Only sometimes you can see when the white shines through, and that's the really only times that the plush looks a little bit bad. But beside that, the plush is still really good. It's a good handheld plush size. His feet is dangly. You can have him sitting on the shelf with his big old feet, just like in the games. He looks like Bendy. His head has a little curve to it. Don't know that's a defect. I do think that's the way he looks in the game. So Yeah, those small little details for a plush that isn't that crazy expensive either that you could get in a store is just incredible, and that's why I do think these are, you know, really game accurate. Moving on to other plushies which kind of changed the mold, being Boris, which we should definitely go and talk about. Hey, this is the halfway mark, and it's me, Lightning. I'm not in this plush, it's just me. I'm not actually in the plush, but I'm here to ask you guys to please go and subscribe. You know, the little button up there. If you don't want to subscribe, or if you already are subscribed, thank you so much for being. You can always just like the video, comment on the video, continue watching the rest of the video, or sharing the video. Any of the above will really go and help out the channel. Now, I am going to hold Boris hostage and maybe a little bit of a choking there. If you want to subscribe, you know, subscribe to save a life. Maybe Boris's. Anyway, sorry to get more time in your video. Please go and enjoy the rest. Boris, of course, has the exact same tags. The only thing different is here it says Boris Basic Boris plush, because they are making a wave 2. This is the full set of wave 1. I will be doing a news video whenever we get images, so subscribe for that. I was told like a minute ago probably. But the one thing within Boris is he is of course like extremely game accurate to the Boris in the game that we saw the plush, but this one's a little bit different because it has ink all over him. Alice and Bendy does not have ink on them, but Boris is the only plush that you guys can see visible ink just on it. Now that's definitely could get some fans mad, like I want a Boris that doesn't have ink on it, that just looks like an actual plush that they would sell, like these two plushies. But sadly, we cannot all win there, and also in Bendy the Dark Revival, they did have, I think, like Boris is covered in ink, and considering that this is printing, and printing uses ink, it's pretty fitting to see that he's actually, if you want to think about it, covered in ink right now, with, of course, the mixing with another printer. Don't know if that, if this is a defect of mine, why his snout's kind of like that, but yeah, he has the same problems as Bendy kind of does with, of course, the white just blending in up there with the other colors, but I still think it's pretty fine. You can still see the colors. Yes, the printing and the sketches are all black, mixing with the ink makes the face and the whole body just look really busy, kind of a little bit distracting for some people, but beside that, looking at the rest of the body, the printing is really good with the quality, the style, the texture, because everything is really good, as you guys can see. He has printing all over his body, which is still surprising to see, and at the end of the day, he's just another amazing plush. He also has those dangly legs like Bendy, and he can also sit just like a regular plushie, and in just a regular plush size, and he has his little dangly ears, which of course the plushies cost the exact same for every single one of them, so you know, don't really need to bring that up again. But now it's time to look at the very last plush, being Alice here. Alice is definitely, in my opinion, the simplest, and also you could definitely see the smallest plush of them all. She also has those dangly legs, but not that much because she has the dress going down, so like kind of stops the movability of her. She also has the least amount of printing, only being just a little bit around the hand and a little bit around those hands, and of course just a little chest and just the head and ears, which is sounds like a lot, but considering the other characters have so much printing, you can definitely see how this is the smallest one. The hair gets to use that regular hairstyle that regular ones use. Also, the horns for Alice does have printing on both sides, which is still just impressive to see how they do that, because some companies won't even bother on that. I like the hair details, and I love just the simple printing, all the stitching and like withered on it, because that's how it looks in the game too. It's like really good. And of course, you guys can see she's just the smallest compared to other plushies, but still at the end of the day, a really good plush. But anyways, guys, this is me. If for this video, let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about wave 1 of the Bendy plushies. Which one is your favorite? Because for me, it's definitely going to be Boris, then Bendy, then Alice. But you guys can let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to see me do wave 2 or keep you guys up to date in news. And yeah, that's the story for literally the world's most game accurate Bendy plushies. And let's just hope wave 2 also has some pretty good bangers.